morning. In this video we will discuss the São Miguel cattle dog, and it is a dog from São Miguel, which is an autonomous island of the Portuguese district in the Azores. So it's also known as the Azorian hound or Azorian cattle dog. And with cattle, often people think about shepherd-like breeds, but this breed has a different proposition because it is meant for cattle. So cattle needs a stronger type of dog. So for example, if you look at Australia, where they have both breeds to herd cattle, like the Australian cattle dogs and sheep, the Kelpie for example. Kelpies are a lot softer dogs, faster and less brave. So cattle dog, you can also understand that is a lot better if you look at the bulldogs of the past. So for example, Alanos were also used to manage cattle. So a little bit different than the bulldogs that are only there for battle, but this is more of a breed, a multi-purpose farm dog. And I also think that the São Miguel cattle dog has shepherd type of breeds in them as well. So for example, Dutch shepherd, Malinois, perhaps the German shepherd of old. It's linked to an extinct type of mastiff, and yeah, it could be placed as such, but it's not a heavy mastiff. The size is quite big, up to 60 centimeters at the withers, but the weight for males is 35 kilograms, which is still very nimble. Females are slightly smaller, of course, but if you look at the overseas regions, you often see that these types of dogs are now classified as a rare dog, although they are accepted by the FCI, so the Federal Cynological Institute, which also has a benefit. If you are only allowed to keep FCI registered breeds, it could be a benefit to look into the São Miguel cattle dog if you want a farm dog that can also offer some protection. So these dogs are very capable at a multitude of things, but of course it all depends also on the breeding stock that is used. Is from working stock or show stock, because especially overseas you see them, like many mastiffs, being bred for size and also maximize hair, which destroys the nimble nature of this very nice breed. If you want to get a hint of its appearance, some people say if you cross a hyena with a pit bull, you get the São Miguel cattle dog, but that is more just to hype it up. That are often the same type of persons that will breed them for size instead of performance, and are looking for the quick buck or the baddest and meanest looking dog there is. And in my opinion, this is not the role of the São Miguel cattle dog. So if you would give it a more more precise, in my opinion, description, it could be if you could cross a Presa Canario with, for example, a Dutch shepherd, you will get very close to the looks of the São Miguel cattle dog. You also see this in the programs that we have in the Netherlands. I'm living in the Netherlands, where we have the KNPV bloodline that is well renowned and used for tactical operations, military, but also police work and detection sometimes, but especially the more combat orientated forms that we are breeding bull type of dogs into shepherd lines. So the main lines that are used in KNPV are Malinois and Dutch shepherds, both the smooth coated varieties of course, and they are just crossed with each other. And in the same way that you could have brindles that are called Dutchies, Dutch Shepherds, and the other ones, the more fawn type of colors, are called Malinois. Fawn to seal, or even sometimes black. And the other thing is, next to breeding between these two performance type of shepherds, sometimes also a little bit of German Shepherd or Groenendaler, for example, is introduced, but also other breeds are introduced to give them more staying power and more courage, more stability. And those breeds are oftentimes of the bull type. So, for example, pit bull blood is used to increase pain resistance, stability, and also fighting abilities, whereas the size is oftentimes not that much reduced. But sometimes also, if you want a bigger type of dog, they breed, for example, Presa Canario into these dogs. In the past they bred very tightly and sometimes even introduced Great Dane to counter this inbreeding depression that they had. But nowadays they focus more on healthy, strong breeds to begin with, like crossbreeding. And for example, a pit bull is of course a dog that's very capable, and very pain resistant and athletic. And Presa Canario also has very natural guarding instincts. I once opted to also introduce a little bit of Anatolian Shepherd to increase size, and then you could line breed again a lot more. But back to the topic, if you compare the brindle types, so the Dutch Shepherd with the Malinois types, very often the brindle types are a little bit more bulky, a little bit lower to the ground, and have a little bit more pain resistance and more stability, better dog inside. So the Dutch Shepherds in the past had a little bit more bull in them, and it shows that there are quite some benefits to get. So also with the São Miguel cattle dog, you will find that the bull and the mastiff type of blood will give you a lot more stability and also more loyalty under pressure. Another example is the Australian cattle dog that I mentioned before. These dogs are very capable, despite being a lot smaller of course, but they are capable to handle very stubborn bull and also have a lot more protection capabilities than a pure shepherd type of dog like the Kelpie has. Hope you like this video. If you do, please subscribe. These dogs that I have here are very small dogs. They are of the bull and terrier type. They are known as the Pettidill Terrier. Have a great day.